All right, let's go. Let's go. Jermaine, bring us home, bringing us in, bringing us to Krypton.
You want to do it, Jermaine? I was going to do it.
Oh, you can do it if you want to.
Right.
Do together.
My leg is so bad.
Your video leg?
It's not too bad.
It looks fine. What are you talking about?
Is what it is.
No, it's like, it's fine.
It must be the TV because on my screen it looks fine.
Oh, okay, good then.
Stop looking at it.
God damn it. Take two.
Hype Attack intro, take two.
Hey guys, welcome to the Hype Attack Podcast,
Where we weigh in on the latest in nerd and pop culture hype.
We
We're the excited conversation we all have with our friends.
about the nerdy things we love.
And geek about. We are.
Rudy's in my mind. Stop swallowing.
How dare you touch my board?
Shut up.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hype Attack Podcast, where we weigh in on the latest and greatest in nerd and pop culture hype. I am Rudy, once again joined by Jermaine, Doug, and Isaac.
That's for last.
What's going on? How you guys doing?
Really good.
Swell.
It's
Living a life.
It's been a couple weeks since we last recorded.
I woke up.
Yeah, we're so busy. Summertime.
And yeah.
Life.
And I don't want to hear no shit about the drops of our episodes on the weekend because we moved from Friday, and now it's as long as
They drop when they drop.
as long as it's before Sunday. I don't care.
Yeah, listen, all five of you, thank you.
Anyway, what big event has happened since we recorded last? What could have possibly happened in the nerd sphere?
Jeez, I don't know.
shit.
Just my gosh.
Jesus.
Only
Superman. Oh shit! Make it rain, baby. Let's go.
that plane hit me in the eye.
Superman, James Gunn's official entry
Call that
into
the
the DC
kryptonite
universe,
threat.
into the movie.
Like technically,
Into the
yeah,
movie.
the first
It's a movie universe. Cinematic. There you go.
Yeah.
Do you have to say entry after you did that?
Jesus.
Yeah. Technically, Creature Commando.
But into the
Technically,
movie
yeah,
verse.
movie,
Or
yeah,
movieverse.
yeah.
All right,
Live
anyway.
action. That's what
He
matters.
corrected himself. We'll
And-
allow it.
Generally, it's gotten positive reviews, but we're here to tell you that it fucking sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to like it. I just didn't. I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
What did you guys think about it?
Doug, give it to us. Give it to us.
It was really good.
Really good.
Asterix. We got this. We'll get to the asterisks.
Totally.
We'll get to the asterisks.
Asterix, the new Avengers, what?
What were your guys' expectations? I don't think we kind of like tiptoed around it in previous podcasts, but what were your legitimate and honest expectations? You're more neutral of like, look, I'm just going to listen. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in and not really hope for anything. Hope for nothing. But
The whole message is hope. God damn it.
Finally, by the way, finally.
yeah, but I mean, I just went in and just watched the movie, and I just took it for what it is. Like I didn't, like I wasn't like wanting anything besides it just being a good movie. But we'll get into that.
Okay. Expectation, Rudy?
Like, I really wanted to stay in Jermaine's lane of like, I mean, we just be a blank canvas and like go in there and like just let it, hit me in the face.
Again, it's just
And I couldn't do it. Like, I dived into the trailers, I dived into the TV spots, all the
you're a
behind
whore
the
about
scenes
that.
As soon as it's hanging in front of your face, like you can't help but get excited, right?
And I got legitimately hyped for this movie. Like, I got legitimately hyped.
The first teaser, like just hit, and so yeah, I'm with you. Where like I was really going into like it's gonna be what it is because I think we've established we're pretty big Snyder fans here. We're not fucking Snyder bros. I don't understand why everything has to be ruined. Like
I like certain Snyder movies, but even Man of Steel for me, like I like that movie, but there's still some things about it. Like I'm not like a hardcore Snyder fan. There's still things in his movies that I was like, could have did that.
I mean, I think we could say like it's officially a shame that we never got to see like that full vision.
Yeah.
Come to life, but whatever. Anyway, so my expectations initially were kind of gonna, I've talked before about like the nipple jokes and everything in Guardians. So when it was announced that James Gunn was doing all this, it's like,
Guardians 2 for me was his one miss.
Yeah,
It was his one miss.
that's really what stands out to
I
me.
will give that to you.
Yeah.
Hands down. I fucking hated that movie.
And that's where, like, as soon as Creature Commandos dropped, I think that instantly kind of got me like half mass, for the new DCU. And then the trailer like got me there. And then actually going to see this,
The hype attack, bring the horny.
squirting. Squirting.
That nerdgasm.
Our new rating system. How many ropes? Oh, that was a 4-roper right there.
Can we have Smokey Robinson? You ever heard Smokey
That was
Robinson?
a 4-rope hypegasm right there.
You ever heard Smokey Robinson, right?
Not personally, but I've heard
You know
of
Smokey,
him.
you know of Smokey Robinson?
Sure.
He has this song called Gasms.
Oh.
It's fucking gross for an old man, but I want that. Nerdgasms. Yeah, play
No,
that.
I think we should copyright hypegasm right now.
Smokey, we'll hire you, cameo.
We can make it happen. Anyway, what was your expectations?
Same thing how you were talking about. Though I didn't go full deep dive into like everything that was all the trailers and clips and stuff. Like I still wanted some freshness.
I didn't go looking for it, but it pops up in the fucking feed. Like I'm gonna sit there and watch it. not like
I know. Look,
not like
whatever,
people
man.
I know that will go full media blackout.
Yeah.
But I allow myself the teaser. I allow myself the first official trailer, and then like I'll glance at some of the clips that come out. But I'm like, they had like $100 million going towards a promotion, so like a lot of stuff was out there in your face. I'm like, no, scroll. I want to try to go in like freshish as much as possible.
It is hard these days because there is like a teaser, a trailer, and then a second trailer, and then here's the first 5 minutes, and then here's an exclusive clip, and it's just like, oh, here's a TV spot. It's like, okay, we're in the whole movie.
Like it got to the point where like I'm sitting in the bathroom. There's a knock on the door, and Rachel leans in, and she just goes, "Superman," and then just walks out. And I'm like, okay, the marketing has gone grassroots.
Awesome, love it.
Why does that button exist?
It should though. It should. It's well done.
Execution.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's great. It's fucking super right there.
Anyway, you had something to say. I was like, what were you going to say before I so really interrupted? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, it's one of the first movies in a while where it was a good trailer, and I was filled with hope. I've learned over the years to be cautiously optimistic, but like it felt really good. Like the gut feeling of this might be really good. So when I go into the movie, I'm not like it's gonna be good. I'm like it better fucking be good, otherwise I'm an asshole and I'm making it all wrong. But as it turns out, a lot of fun.
So, because you watched all the trailers and all the little snippets and all kind of thing, did you feel like they showed a lot in the trailers, or did you feel like they still kind of
No, because like
held back a little
a
bit?
thing that they've been doing that I've noticed is where like all the trailers is like usually like the first like 5 to 10 minutes of the
Yep.
movie,
Exactly.
and then after that it's all new except for like
Yeah.
a little pieces here and there. Like most of it's
yeah.
fresh.
Plus
Fresh.
the
Yeah, I don't know
importance.
the word I was searching for, but fresh.
The importance of context too. Like for instance, I know in the official trailer we got a glimpse of the interview scene, but like the context of it is even that much more important. That amplifies the importance of that conversation, that interview, which one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, one of the early complaints about the trailer initially, I heard personally from people I know, was just like, oh, there's a lot going on. And my first response is like, it's probably all within the first half hour. And a lot of it was. And to Rudy's point, I think that's where a lot of these movies and a lot of these trailers are heading. And I like that. I kind of like that comfort of like, look, they're going to show us a lot of splash and a lot of fun stuff, but then that's going to come and go, and there's going to be little things. Along those lines, I don't know if we're ready to go beyond the trailer right now, but that sentiment continued into critique of the movie afterwards, though, of just a lot going on.
Going even further back from the first still frame that we had ever gotten, which was of Superman, David Cornsweet, like putting his boots on, and there's a whole lot of going on in the background. People, the internet being the internet, was so readily angry. How could he just be taking his time putting his boots on when all this stuff is going in the background? And you finally get that scene.
Yeah.
And I was so happy and elated that like in this world, this established world, he's like, yeah, it's just an interdimensional imp. It's
Yep.
just they got it. They're fine.
The Justice Gang.
Loved it, dude.
Yeah.
Made me so happy.
'Cause I
Seriously.
remember defending that screenshot of just saying the same thing where, like, either one, Superman is working at hyper speed, so even him putting on his clothes could still be happening in a second, or, yeah, exactly. The Justice Gang got it. And
Gosh.
I love that scene because you could see Guy Gardner making a fucking baseball bat. Just like, whack, whack, whack.
Was the intergalactic imp, was that a reference to
Interdimensional, but yeah.
Mixel, whatever?
Oh,
Mixed Pixel?
No, it wasn't
Mr.
him or it wasn't
Mr.
Batman.
Piglet?
It wasn't him or
Okay.
Yeah. But it definitely, so I think we let's
he was. If it was, Superman would have had to been there because he would have been too powerful for the Justice Gang.
Yeah.
Please believe that. If it was
I do believe it.
I'm sorry.
Batmite or
Stand on business.
Mixel, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
however you
Mexapitlick.
Only can't say it.
so let's talk
Mr.
about
Pumpernickel.
this. Probably one of the more controversial aspects of the Superman movie is the fact that we are dropped in the middle of this universe.
Sure.
I've heard even some people say like this feels like a sequel to a movie we'll never see. And so honestly, maybe not never because there's always a chance for a prequel. But I love love the shit out of this, right? And we've talked about this on the show of like trusting the audience and like understanding that at this point most of us know the Superman origin story, most of us know Krypton, and so this universe got dumped on us with a great little early scrawl. Like first thing we saw was 300 years ago the first metahuman showed up, 3 years ago or 30 years ago. Ship landed, it broke it all down, which was great. I think it was fine. But it's so cool and refreshing that we're getting into this universe. It already exists to the point where, like, yes, an interdimensional imp showing up is just another fucking Wednesday, right? Which they've even made that joke in the comic books because comic books used to come out every Wednesday. So there's a joke about like in DC Universe comics, there's a joke about this. It's just another Wednesday because there's always a fucking monster showing up, right? Like, and I like that we're there already.
I had a conversation with someone that we know. Sergio was like, at my nephew's birthday, he was there, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, did you see Superman?" I go, "Yeah." He's like, "What'd you think?" I'm like, "Well, let me give you a nutshell version, blah blah blah," And then I mentioned the lack of an origin story. He goes, "Oh no, I want to see this version's origin story." I go, No. Do you remember in BVS we technically got an origin story for Batman, and everyone was like, "We get it. We didn't want it." So people were pissed. People were annoyed, and for all the reasons you just mentioned, we didn't need an origin story.
They were pissed about Batman's, but I think Man of Steel's Superman origin story is like almost peak cinema.
Did you want it?
I didn't know I wanted it until he gave it to me.
With the
Man
Zack
of
Snyder? With
Steel?
Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
Man of Steel,
yeah.
like that early side note. I'll try to get this real quick. Krypton was amazing in that
Yes.
early Man of Steel, that beginning of that, and when they announced a Krypton series, and it was supposed to be connected to all that, like I was so excited. And then we got a Krypton series that was not that, but
But I'm just saying, they well done an origin like that. It was fresh and hot, but then they give you the same Batman thing like we've seen a million times. So I kind of get both sides of the argument, but
The obvious disclaimer, by the way, full spoilers. I have a suspicion that we will still get that origin story in Supergirl.
well, yeah, because I think not a lot of people know more or less about
Supergirl and the Woman of
her.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, about her
That-
origin,
that-
really.
yeah.
and being able to kind of like shoe in Kal-El's origin story as they're talking about her.
I think we might get it in that one because it's
which
so,
would be a cool way to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and by the way, a reminder for everyone listening: I've never read the comics, so this is all based on research that the basis of the Woman of Tomorrow storyline is, as a teenager, she witnessed Krypton's destruction, and so that kind of led her to be an alcoholic. Thus, she drinks. So we might get that.
Yeah, there's a whole fun thing about like technically she's older than Kal-El. Though I thought I read something about in James Gunn's universe she's not.
He's older now. And
Yeah,
she's
he's
younger.
old. Yeah. So things are gonna be different. Traditionally in the comics, she's technically older but she was stuck in like cryo for longer or whatever. So she lands on Earth as a teenager. I think now it's gonna be, she's basically just a teenager, and which her appearance at the end, like I was not expecting it, and it cracked me up. I love that they used that to explain why Crypto was a shithead.
And I love it. I love that Gunn is like he's taken back the post and mid-credit scenes that they're just epilogues. So like anything that's supposed to be part of the story is still happening, by the time the actual movie ends, and anything that is mid and post is an epilogue, a little fun beat, just a quick additional interaction.
Yeah.
Not to jump the gun on that one.
Exit out of the room now.
Yeah. Just the three of us for the rest of this.
Mute him, please.
So characters or story?
Whew.
There's a lot of characters.
Yeah. So one of the big complaints I have seen is that it was overstuffed, which I would say, no, it wasn't. And we've talked about this before on the show where, for whatever reason, superhero movies get kind of burdened with this like explanation. But I've asked people before, like, okay, this movie, if these were all cops and you had a main cop and his wife, and then you had a couple other cops show up, like no one would say it was overstuffed. But because these cops are in costumes, all of a sudden it's overstuffed. And like we've talked before, like Star Wars, right? The original Star Wars introduced like Luke and Obi-Wan and then Han and Chewie and Leia, like all these side characters, and no one bats an eye. But as soon as someone's in a costume, it's too much.
It's not like there aren't some moments where there's a little quick exposition that somebody says and you go, okay, there is mostly show and tell. Every now and again there was a tell don't show, and I forgave it for that, because where else do you throw it in there? To make sure you're not leaving behind like the casual viewer. But in a quick, just condensing it real quick, I think that the people who were expecting not to like it already weren't going to like it, for the reasons of like, any expectation, like it was already met. Whether it was like the lack of an origin story, somebody already wanted that, or they wanted things spoon-fed to them in the way that every other superhero movie had already done. And Gunn is trusting the audience and creating this new, I don't want to say formula, but this, you know what I mean? Like this new model of how the superhero movies can be done of the pre-existing universe. And like, look, just figure it out. We're not going to spoon feed you. And I think those people felt like, but I'm used to superhero movies spoon feeding us because for the past 20 years it's been done.
Yeah, and I feel like Marvel is still spoon feeding.
Absolutely. We will see Friday. I'm seeing it Friday.
Yeah, with
Fantastic Four.
Well, Fantastic Four is an alternate universe, so it's a whole nother thing. Like, so the MCU is still spoon feeding in a way.
But like Gunn isn't. He's not spoon feeding anybody. I think the only thing that the lack of an origin story does is it removes that moment of warming up to a new Superman, which is Superman is such a, needless to say, a huge character. And anybody that is taking up that mantle, it's like, whoa. But it's like a Bond, James Bond,
Again, going back to my analogy of like any movie, any action movie, any cop movie or whatever, it's like we don't normally have to see an action hero get born. And then parents raise up.
No, totally. And I don't mean it as a as far as the story is concerned. I mean it as the actual actor is concerned, where people need to warm up to that new person. And because I realized like those first 20 minutes, I'm going like, what is missing? In my simple-minded brain, I was expecting that little like kind of baby step into the new person, and then like after the 30 minutes, is like David Cornsweet's the fucking new Superman, hell yeah, and I was just on board, So I had to catch up with the movie as opposed to the movie just like slowing it down for me.
Jermaine, how did you feel about Mr. David?
Oh, he was a good Superman to me. Like the core of Superman is there within him. Like I feel like he got it.
Higher or lower than Zack Snyder? Than Henry Cavill?
Like if if you're gonna look at like a definitive Superman, like he carries those characteristics of Superman that most comic book, readers know, and the Christopher Reeve Superman, and probably a little bit of the animated universe Superman. So this to me, this version of Superman kind of felt like a little mix of Christopher Reeve plus the animated Superman. Like that's what this
The vibe.
yeah, the vibe to me got, like, especially with him like saving the squirrel and all that, and how he tried to save the
Kaiju.
the kaiju. I was trying to think of his name, but like that to me is the core characteristics of Superman. Even though Zack Snyder Superman, like he had saves, like he saved the people at the oil rig, like he did certain things, but like I said, and I've always said, like if Superman in the Zack Snyder one, like while he was fighting the Kryptonians, if he was going out of his way trying to save things at the same time and grabbing like the helicopter, while getting like punched and beat up, like that would have carried more weight with the Henry Cavill Superman. But I feel like this is the Superman that most people like wanted to see. Not everybody, because I did go back and like watch certain people's video on like that really loved the Zack Snyder, or was just like a Superman fan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
like it's 50-50 out there. Like you have people that like the new Superman, and then you have a lot of people that don't like him. But
I don't think it's 50-50. I think it's like that. It's more like 80-20, but the 20% are real fucking loud, and they're really out there about it.
What? Those are the people that I know were already not going to like it for all the same reasons that the 80% liked it, were the same reasons that I think the 20% weren't going to like it.
So to continue that point, a lot of people talk about Superman being a boring character because he's so powerful. And I think that's where a writer who recognizes that, as James Gunn has done with this, because he wrote this, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can make Superman interesting is the fact that he's not just there to kick ass, he's there to save people, right? And kicking ass is a part of that saving people, but he's saving people and squirrels and whatever. And so, yeah, that is something that, like, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel really didn't show too much. And then I even think about like Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, like they showed it a little bit, but that is something that like I think this movie accomplished really well. It's like he is there to be a protector of people more than I'm just like he's just there to be a badass and kick ass.
Somebody equated it to he's not a policeman, he's a firefighter.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Yeah, and I watched a clip last night of the Brandon Routh, that whole sequence where he's blowing the fire away and then holds the Daily Planet. Yeah, the lasers are glass. And I'm like, that works really well. I wish we had another chance at Brandon Routh.
That might be the only moment I remember from that movie. Anyway, pee break. Sorry, really quick. I was holding it in.
My God.
Yeah.
Continue.
Oh, okay. So
had
let's continue talking about David's version of Superman.
Yes.
One talent that we saw very early in the initial trailer was his ability to just switch between Clark and Superman, which I am excited to see the secret identity. We've talked about this before with MCU, where there's really no one other than like Spider-Man with a secret identity, and I think that is a fun part of the superhero stories. I mean, I get it. Like a movie, you only have so much time to tell a story, and like maybe it's kind of wasteful to mix it in there. But I think they did a pretty good job with this, and that switch of Clark to Kal-El, Clark to Superman is so good.
3 different personalities of Phil.
Yeah.
I feel there's the TV camera ready Superman, right? The yes, Miss Lane, and then there is the Kal-El when he's alone in the Fortress of Solitude, and then there's like a little bit of the mix in between when he's in between the interviews when he's talking with Lois, where you can get frustrated, you can get angry,
and they have touched on in this universe that his glasses are some sort of hypno glasses or whatever.
I can't believe they threw that shit in there. I was like,
love it.
okay.
It's fine. Go with it. Like I know people are already arguing like that wouldn't work unless you were looking right on it. Fuck off.
I love that though. Of all the people to deliver like a lot of that very James Gunn comedy is Gunn's boy Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Like that couldn't be more perfect.
Yeah. I love that interview that James Gunn did recently where it's like, when I get a new movie, like I'm super excited, but then my second thought is, how can I embarrass Nathan? And he did it with this one with that haircut. Well, I mean, Guy Gardner, like...
apparently that the haircut was Nathan Fillion's idea. Like he insisted
awesome.
that the bowl cut be included.
Yeah, because comic-wise, Guy Gardner has since abandoned the bowl cut.
Okay. I love though that I sometimes will look through some of the comments in any kind of Superman movie post, and that no one is familiar with Nathan Fillion outside of like they go, wait, is that the sexy cop from that one show?
Or the TikTok clips? Some people don't even know it from the show. It's literally like, hey, this is the guy from the TikTok clips, and Nathan Fillion had to respond with like, I'll take it. If you want, you can. He says something like, if you want, there's whole shows. It's like a longer TikTok.
Love it. That's a
TikTok.
perfect.
Yeah, long form TikTok. Procedural police shows.
Real quick before we move on to the rest of the cast, yes, I think David Cornsweet gave the character an earnestness that I had not. That I wish, after seeing it, I wish that Man of Steel had Henry Cavill. That seeing that, I'm like, that's what that was missing. And then someone, I forget where it was. Someone explained it was like Henry Cavill was like, he brought you hope, but it was always like, but there's a price. Mm-hmm. Whereas this one is just hope.
Yeah,
he's the goodness. Like he's that Boy Scout, like he's that character. Like I think James Gunn went like the safe route. Like I should say, like it's almost like like how I felt about, or how like a lot of people felt about Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Like it's like they went with like the safe route rather than kind of trying to do something else drastic. Because like I said, like he has that Christopher Reeve vibe. Like he has that classic old school, Superman. Like he is that goody good. Like he's gonna do good no matter what. Like when he's having the
fucking Boy Scout.
Good golly gosh.
The talk
what
with
the hey?
with Clark and like Lois, like even him trying to have this conversation as Superman, but he's just going back into himself. Like it's like, I don't know how you people can't see like what it is. Like I'm doing good in a sense, like for goodness sake. Like it's not like I'm doing it for the clout or like I want to be like in the limelight. He's like, this is just the right thing to do. Like
that's what we do.
There's no gray area for this Superman, and I'm hoping that like this version of Superman, because like jumping to like the animated Superman, like I know like a lot of people feel like this, or certain people's comments said like this is like the weakest version of Superman that we've seen, which I don't really agree with that. Yes, he was fighting somebody like him, so like in the beginning of the movie he's like beat, like brutally
3 hours ago Superman lost his first fight.
So like that's the impact
He beat himself up
of this movie. Like you're just seeing
The dream.
like this guy kind of having to fight kind of for what what he believes in, regardless of what happens to him. But it's like I don't think that it's the weakest version just because of what he was doing throughout the movie. Like he damn near blew himself out of like a black hole. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that goes back to like the Silver Age, Superman, where he could damn near like blow out, like stars, like he's powerful, but I'm hoping James Gunn is like, because he's this goody good in the beginning. I just hope he has that moment, like how the animated Superman has, like when he's like, all my life, later on, not yet, but he has that speech, like he's like, all my life, like I felt like I lived in like a cardboard, like.
Got it. Yeah.
I
You want to have that
We're
moment.
there. I think that's the thing that
he's on his way there.
that's the coolest thing that has been set up with this movie is the fact that we've established like this is a universe where shit happens every week, and Superman's this goody good. Like we're already set up for that moment when someone hardcore shows up, like a Darkseid, like a Brainiac, where this isn't the weekly interdimensional imp. This isn't the thing, and like that, I think we're set up already for that moment of Superman. Like
It feels like he's holding back,
Cutting loose. Yeah.
like he doesn't want to like.
reloading his arms. Henry Cavill,
bet that was
Mission
gonna
Impossible. Yeah,
Him and Black Adam when he was going to do that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I took away from this movie is that it wasn't the epic movie that the other Superman movies maybe were to a certain level, where it did feel like the every Wednesday, although this is it's sort of focused around him losing his first fight, so that's the importance of it. But didn't feel like this. We got to set the high bar of like hyper epic. You're like, yeah, then where do you go from there?
Yeah. Again, this movie has so much going on, and I was thinking about that earlier today, where it was like, it was a very personal moment for Superman because he lost his first fight, and then of course Lex, which Nicholas Hoult did just an amazing job with Lex. We'll get into that. I would say like some people have complained, and I kind of agree. Like he didn't have that charm, where it's like someone to get to that point would need charm. But my uncle today kind of put it out there and challenged that with like he probably had a lot of charm until Superman showed up. Like his charm probably got him to that position where he's at now, and then Superman showed up and he lost it. And
This is the pettiest
yeah,
Lex that we've gotten so far.
but it works so well. And
Yeah.
and
Love-hate.
I love Nicholas.
We've
Hoult.
seen Holt play this character.
Yeah,
in
with the Great. Yeah,
which
exactly.
I love because he initially tried out for Superman, and he's
Yep.
like, that's not right for this. I'm reading Lex, and this is like more fun. Going back to Superman though, so I know he's written that way, right? But still, David Cornsweet brought this little extra sprinkle of like genuineness to it that if you've seen some of his interviews, maybe stuff with like Vanity Fair or whatever, these little quick bits that you're getting, like something was standing out to me. And then I saw a long form interview that he did on Taiso, Take Your Shoes Off, with Rick Glassman. And it wasn't confirmed on that podcast, but I think he's neurodivergent. And so that you said where like, Superman just wasn't getting it. Some of the obvious stuff was kind of going over his head. Like I feel like Cornsweet brought some of that to this. Maybe not in a very like, and he's on the spectrum kind of thing, but it just in that there's this beautiful innocence to it that when he's yelling to Lois, I was saving people were going to die. Like, don't you get that? You're complicating this. You're convoluting it. And power to her, by the way, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, to have the balls to be this sharp-tongued reporter who is digging into this very innocent man in such a way that it's like pissing him off, and not taking her foot off the gas pedal, because unfortunately, like in the current day, it's the optics of all of these things, and he needs to answer for some of those. But still, his basic motive is, I'm here to save people's lives. What don't you get? The rest of it is just secondary, and that was so fucking beautifully done in this movie.
That scene alone with that interview with Lois, it was so beautiful. it was done so well because it touched on their relationship. It touched on him as Clark, as Superman. Even though Superman is shown as this kind of like perfect good guy, it kind of touched on a little bit of misogyny in there, where he approached that interview kind of like, yeah, I'll do an interview with you. And then when she fucking whipped it out and and questioned him, he got mad.
She bent him over.
Yeah, she bent him over, and he got mad about it. And I think, like, I thought, like, I obviously can't speak for like the feminist movement or anything like that, but I think that it said a lot about maybe like expectations that men have with dealing with women, and her just absolutely bending him over with the power that she has.
I think that
he wasn't ready for it.
What
as Superman?
It was one of the, I think, in as far as their it's such an important scene in the movie because it's like she gets to flex as a reporter, he gets to show his humanity, and as far as their relationship is concerned, I think it was like the first real moment. They've only been dating for 3 months, right? The power of threes in this movie.
Yeah.
It was probably the first time they were real to one another. Him getting frustrated and her going like, "This is what I do. I'm not this fluff reporter where you're interviewing yourself and you know the questions."
Yeah.
You know, if anybody else were to report you the interview, this is what it would be like.
Yes, and that I feel like that's more so why he was frustrated than anything, because it was like, male or female, it's somebody asking him the real questions rather than him like he's normally interviewing himself. Like it's almost like the Peter Parker thing.
Yeah.
Like he's taking, so he's gonna get frustrated because somebody's asking him, these kind of like questions that he wouldn't ask himself. Like it's like now he's facing the real world. Like it's just not him going and doing what he's doing. So I feel like that's more so why he was frustrated, because it's like not necessarily because it was just Lois, coming at him like that, but that's how a lot of people would.
The second important conversation that he and Lois had was with the backdrop of the interdimensional imp, with the interdimensional imp, and they're talking about punk rock, right? And the fictional band, the Mighty Mighty Crabjoys or whatever it was, and she's talking about how she was punk rock, and she totally is the embodiment of punk rock. If it were in an awesome vest and we're a reporter for the Daily Planet, and his retort is, after she analyzes him and observes that he just sees the beauty in everyone and everything. She was going to leave him because she doesn't do relationships, right? But the fact that his reply was, maybe finding the beauty in everyone is punk rock in this world where everybody is cynical, that he's still holding on to his why isn't everyone nice to one another? Maybe this is punk rock, We don't have to lean into the negative, into the senility of it.
What a message.
It's more so the embodiment
Humanity
of what they invoked heavily in him in this new, well, not new iteration, but it's his parents when he had the conversation with Paul Kent, which
Let's talk about it.
I do believe every time they do the Kents, I feel like they normally do a good job, especially when they have those intimate, little moment, those heart-to-heart talks. So it's like you see where he's coming from because of how he was raised. And especially with that conversation he had with Paul Kent, I don't remember it word for word, but it's just one of those things, where he was questioning himself because of the actual true message that the
whole message.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that.
Oh,
yeah, they got the decipher on.
While we're on the Kents, though, does anyone think they went a little too bumpkin with
yes,
them?
So that was the complaint I saw, was they're too country bumpkin. I would argue that the people that are saying that are racist isn't the word. Racist is not the word.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what the word is for.
Coming at me because I walked out thinking they were a little too bumpkin.
They grew on me.
So you're racist as shit.
Racist
Rudy here. No, it's not the word. It's not the word. I don't know what the word is though for like city folk versus country folk, or like urban versus
like stereotyping, like hardcore.
But it's weird because it's a stereotype. But when it comes to country folk, the stereotype is not. God damn it! Don't cancel me. The stereotype is kind of real and it's good. For like I don't think that country bumpkinness, like I felt like that was very real, but to the average city folk person's like that's too much. It's like no, that's right.
It was needed. I didn't think that it was. I didn't know that it was needed because we've gotten Kevin Costner and Diane Lane.
That too. I'm
without a fucking accent.
I'm
I realize
used to a little
now.
bit. Even the Smallville Kents. Like they're just they were a tad more sophisticated than what we got here, and I'm like, it sat wrong with me for a little bit.
But this is what I'm saying. Like he went back to like the basics. Like when I'm saying like he went that. I keep saying like safe route, but it was just one of those things. Like he kind of stuck true to what.
To the story, to the
like
the story,
what
to the
original. Made all these
Yeah.
characters like he went back to like the drawing board and was like, look, we're gonna make all these characters the way that they were.
It makes sense though, to have middle-aged simple parents like that from middle America, and still the idea of simpleness like. That plus the first half of his biological parents' message, like that just, it was hard for me to digest that because I wanted like these epic adopted parents, these adopted foster parents, and then it did take like a day or two for them to then grow on me as like, it makes a lot of sense for them to be just kind of innocent the way that it is just so built into him.
Yeah.
As far as like, how he goes about the world being innocent.
Like you don't get that Superman without parents like that.
No, it'd be different if like somebody from the city raised him.
Well, especially with
Or Batman with no parents. That's why he's like how he is. But this is what I'm saying. Like
As
he
Mia
just
Khalifa.
did that. Oh yeah. Like he just did what was already there. Like he just put it back to what it was.
What I think they even hammered that in. So the big twist of this movie is, and it's not a new storyline because Smallville did it, was Luthor recovered the rest of the message from Jor-El and does anyone ever remember?
But by the way, My Friends with Superman or whatever,
Laura?
that animated thing with
Laura?
The anime.
Yeah,
With Jack Quaid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was also part of it. Too.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
They did that thing.
So real quick, catch anyone up if you're watching and you have no interest, is they revealed that Superman was apparently sent to the planet to conquer. Which, I don't know, maybe it's a good time to touch on that because we're talking about it. But
his dad, Rocket Raccoon, said,
fuck.
Basically, it wasn't so much conquer as like,
lore over them.
Repopulate.
Right.
Earth.
Yes.
So build a harem.
Yeah.
So real quick, the fact that was like, so Clark or Kal-El originally just got the first part of the message, which was like, do good basically, but then the rest of it. The fact that we got that, but then like we were shown his Earth parents with Martha and Jonathan Kent.
Why did you say that name? Sorry, couldn't help it.
Flash to. Hi, Clark. Hello, Clark.
Oh God, yeah. There's so many little scenes about this movie that maybe will eventually be like, God damn, that was stupid. That might be one of them. But no, like I think they did a really good job of just showing how much the Earth parents had that influence. Like you said, like them being kind of maybe, I don't want to say more simple, but like not.
They were decent people.
Decent people.
They're
know
lacking.
better.
They're lacking in cynicism.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
My one critique as far as this movie, the overall like how it was treated, is there's a moment where Pa Kent has a heart to heart with old Clarky boy.
Motherfucker made me cry too.
Yeah,
I'll tear up at least.
but I felt like some of the more slowed down, serious moments deserve like a beat or three more.
Oh yes, you
simmer.
wanted it to simmer.
I just wanted a little more simmer. That's it. Because then it just jumped to the next thing.
I mean, but there was a lot of shit going on that
a lot of stuff.
that
A lot
needed to
of
get
shit
to.
going on.
So
Yeah.
I forgive them for
totally, yeah.
smash cutting to other shit.
If they were to do like a director's cut, that's what I'd like to see.
We'd have like 10 minutes
Just-
more of just simmer.
Just them staring lovingly into each other's eyes and grabbing his
Just a
shirt.
longer-
like, yes,
Longer like
Dad.
hug.
Oh, you're my world. Yes, like that.
Do we need to have a sit down and
Summer.
talk about how we want?
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
I always
I
fucking.
can't even get my dad to go watch the movie with me.
I will always tear
some
up
Flash with him, right?
at father son stuff because I lost my father at a young age. So
no.
anytime,
Yeah.
that shit like immediately like, just
Yeah.
rips my heart out. I'm like, here, take it.
Yeah. So enjoy your father, goddammit.
He's also my boss, so no.
Father boss.
Father boss.
Since we're going through the character, we kind of touched on Lex a little bit. Do you want to give him a little bit more, or do you think we summed him up pretty well? The hatiness hater. I love your wife's reaction to that. He's like, I'm not hating enough.
He's referring to the
There's
other
a-
podcast I do. Yeah.
There's a level of
He was
hate there that
hating.
I need to get to.
He was hating with that perfect hate.
I would say that I am so glad
Thank you for that, by the way.
they didn't kill him, which obviously they shouldn't kill Lex. But I really hope that's a theme going forward with the DCU. Is like, stop. Like Marvel was killing off all their villains, and
Oh, yeah.
we never got a
Immediately.
chance. Like,
He's not gonna kill Lex. Like it's too early for
Yeah,
him to
yeah.
kill Lex. Like,
No, you can't.
and that's one of those things. Like, I will always be mad about that we never got from the Snyderverse. Was like they were building up like those villains, and there was even that like post credit scene of Luthor meeting with Deathstroke. Like
Seems we should maybe have a league of our own.
yeah, no, exactly, and that's the thing where it's like we're already to a good start where like there are like we've established multiple supervillains, we've established Luthor, like we're setting ourselves up for like something amazing.
I think what was also. Did you want to go? I'm sorry, you had your finger up earlier.
yes, I will. I liked his Lex Luthor
Dog Luthor.
to a degree. At the end, when he was crying and got all emotional, I was like that kind of
Crypto, shut the fuck up. Sorry.
like because it's like how like a lot of people keep saying, like I'm just saying, like it's like Smallville Lex Luthor and even animated Lex Luthor,
Animated Lex Luthor is still top tier.
Chef's Kiss. And I was hoping that we would get more of that. Like yes, you get in the beginning, like he's scouting this guy, for 3 years, and he got this clone, kind of controlling this guy to beat up Superman, and it's showing his intellect. Like, I didn't care for it too much, but the whole like squad and him, like, oh, A1 and B1, I was like, whatever.
It was unique.
But what I grasped from that was like how smart and devious and how far Lex Luthor is willing to go, even with the AI, like the AI monkeys, whatever you want to say that he got in there.
That
Like,
was
it's a funny
beautiful,
gag.
by the
Your
way.
reaction on that.
The Rage Monkeys.
Yeah, like it's funny, but I was just like,
That was my favorite thing in the world.
I was like,
I knew it.
whatever.
I knew it like it.
but at the end, rather than him getting like emotional and like, yes, I know it was like that emotional rage, but like to me that wasn't like the Lex that I want to see at the end. Granted, like I know he wanted to be, the world savior, and he was trying to do everything within his power to to kind of label Superman as this, as this bad person, like paint this picture, and how everybody immediately flipped, like he was saving people left and right, for like 3 years or longer, because he's been on Earth, from his baby year, Smallville year, so he's been around. They didn't show that, but how like quickly everybody just turned on him and was like, oh boo. I was just like, all right, like, I'll take it. But it was just certain things. But it was just certain things. Like I said, like for me, my only critique is I just wanted Lex Luthor to go out. Yes, how he went out, exactly how it played out, but not with that emotional side.
A little cooler.
It makes sense though, because
blue steel.
Billionaires in our real world and with Lex, like, I don't know, they think they're hot shit. They think they got it all together.
Yeah, but this is Lex though. This
where I think they gave him legs.
One more thing before you get into that. Are they ever gonna stop Lex Luthor trying to get fucking land? in the Christopher Reeve movie, in Superman Returns,
I think
Otisburg.
That's a beautiful part
the
of it.
only thing they're not making anymore is more land.
Land again?
But excuse me, because that's what billionaires fucking want. Because they have nothing else to spend money on.
I think that's
other than assets, and you can only buy so many assets.
You're a super genius.
Land.
You're still trying to get land?
Yes, because it's like the glamour part of Lex Luthor, where he's like, yeah, all this other stuff and pettiness, but also it'd really be cool to have a land named after me.
Have an old country.
But
Otisburg.
What this movie gave him more legs. In fact, it gave him like a fucking pair. Is when he very pettily offed the shawarma guy or whatever it was.
That shit was like
point fucking blank.
I was having like a good time with the movie, and I'm like, this is lighthearted fun. And then he shot that motherfucker in the head, and I was like, it was literally like a stop shock moment for me. I was
fucking
like,
gasped.
Like, you and Mother Morpho.
They did it. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
There's 3 moments in this movie. First one is Lex with the gun, like you mentioned. Hawk Girl. Like, I don't have, like,
Hawk Tua.
And she did the same thing, as like Batman in Batman Returns, which is the shit better than the other Batman movie. No, I'm kidding. But,
Keep moving.
But
motherfucker.
yeah. So the shot with Lex Luthor,
fighting.
Hawk Girl dropping, the dude,
Yeah.
Like it's
the
hot.
president.
Isabella Merced could drop me.
She also gave that really sexy look.
And I know, like, a lot of
Any
people
day.
don't care for how Supergirl was introduced at the end. Like how she said bye to Clark, I was like, oh, this is
Bye,
the tone.
bitch.
Yeah, like this is the tone. So for me, there's moments in the future where I'm like, there's gonna be like there could be some
For
possibility.
clarification, you liked that or you didn't like that?
Oh no, I did like
Okay,
that
good.
stuff
Yeah.
because it let me know that there's certain elements in this new Gunverse that like Superman is gonna like have to deal with, like the Justice Gang, killing people, and how Lex did what he did and all this other stuff. But it's just there's some seriousness in there that I like where he's going with it.
The deleted scene that Gunn was talking about right after he, unalives that guy point blank is guy crumples in a pile, blood pools, and as he's monologuing to Superman, he goes, "Oh, the blood! It's gonna about touch my suit." And then he has the president of the Bravi or whatever lay down and absorb the rest of it, and he realizes it was a really dark. He knew that he was going to cut that, but he's like, "Oh my god, I still want to shoot it."
Yeah.
And then tells Mr. Handsome to go away.
Get
Which
bloody.
apparently he has Mr. Handsome on his desk. I didn't catch that. I saw it in somebody freeze framed it. Mr. Handsome,
Oh, the weird alien thing or whatever.
the Slender Man dude, he has a picture of him on his desk. Evidently, I don't know if that's true. I got to rewatch it.
Yeah, I meant to rewatch it before this episode, but got tired. Didn't do it. I remember most of it.
Old folks' problems.
But I do agree with you partly as far as like there are the better versions of Lex Luthor, but as far as like what they had delivered, it's a pretty awesome story.
Well, that's where I've said it before. DC is always going to have this speed bump to come over. Of we've had so many good versions between Smallville, between Christopher Reeves, between the animated series. Like, we've had great versions of all of these characters. Justice League Unlimited. it's gonna be a hassle to overcome. And Zack Snyder, to his effort, like he just ignored it all and did his own thing. And I think that's why maybe I liked it, because it was something new. And then James Gunn is kind of approaching it tangentially to all of those pre-existing things, and I think that he's gonna have a harder time to overcome it. But I think he's so far, I'm enjoying all of it, other than maybe Hot Girl Scream.
Yeah, that kind of took me out.
That
of
cartoon gets me.
Like that was another thing that kind of took me out. Like her
Yeah.
little. Yeah, but
She's never screamed before in any sort of canon.
I was curious about that.
I heard
think-
someone
yeah.
say that she's using her sonic scream. I'm like, when the fuck did she get a sonic
No,
scream?
they're thinking Black
Yeah.
Canary.
yeah,
I think people are instantly confusing her for the Black Canary.
All women are the same, right? Go on.
so
But Isabel never said.
you know how most
She can
movies,
kick me in the
not
nuts.
not all movies, but when you have like the epic
I'll do it later.
showdown, like it's a build up, right?
Yeah.
Like with the hero and the villain, which Lex is more so the villain in this. Like would you guys say like 70%, 80%, or
And then the rest of the 20% is social media.
but
Joking, but go on.
you have Ultraman, right?
Was anyone real quick? Was anyone, because the rumors were there, hoping Henry Cavill would be under the mask?
No,
no, it would've been-
I'd have brought that.
The
whole
rumors
movie
were
down.
there.
It would've been too
There was
much,
like
like-
there was a
'Cause
little bit of me.
It would have been too much for first.
Wait.
I would have loved that shit. That would have been the ultimate, but no.
So,
Just
how
me
did you
then.
guys feel with the connection of like Superman and like Ultraman, or did you guys have any type of connection with that? So, because it was, to me, it kind of felt like a little bit like empty for me. I get Lex being behind it and him pulling all the strings, which I love that aspect of Lex Luthor, like him being behind the scenes, devious. But when he's fighting like Ultraman, like I really didn't
do agree with
feel
you.
anything. Like
Yeah,
like,
I do agree with
there was nothing there. It almost reminded me of the remake of RoboCop. So you have the original RoboCop. Those that gang in the first movie, they built their way up and they killed him. Oh, killed him.
I heard it.
So he had that. Like you, as an audience, you got to know these characters as the movie went on, and then when he became RoboCop, that vendetta of him going back and getting each one, like you felt that. And in the remake, they were just there.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just kind of ran through it. I didn't have any connection with that.
Yeah.
And that was missing. And with this, with him battling Ultraman, like I didn't really feel anything. I was, not to say that it wasn't like a decent fight, but there was nothing there for me. Like I was empty with that whole fight.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I would have forgiven them the lack of his character buildup if they had like, kind of like hinted that he would be like Bizarro Superman eventually.
Yeah.
Like he would turn into that. Like if they gave him like a little bit of that personality at the end and were like, oh shit, like they imprison him or something or put him somewhere.
Or just
he's gonna
spoke.
he's gonna turn into Bizarro Superman.
There's hints that there's possibly rumors because when the universe is like splitting, those like cubes. Some people were saying that black
he has
hole
a
was
cube
going
world.
to the cube world.
Yeah.
So who knows? But go ahead, continue.
But the fact that they didn't, they just dumped him in the hole. I'm like, okay, well that was a throwaway.
Like it was nothing to me. Like I
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
like I felt hungry after the movie.
Well,
I will say that. Like
so hold on. I've drank a lot tonight. Let me piece this together.
It's barely 3 p.m, Doug.
Yeah, no.
So I still had that. Keep going.
So one, the name Ultraman was spoiled by the toys,
Yes.
right? So Ultraman is a Earth 3 variant of Superman, where Earth 3 is the world where
The Justice
The-
Lords.
yeah,
Wasn't that, or that from the animated?
Crime Syndicate.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Crime Syndicate, where all of the main heroes are the villains of the world. They rule the world. So I mean, like honestly, the early trailer, he had a U on his shirt. Like that is not the Ultraman normal costume. But anyway, we learned it was Ultraman, so we already knew it was gonna be some sort of Superman variant or clone or whatever. And they introduced in the movie like Lex had figured out how to travel through the world through those like wormholes. So like
I totally thought it was going
pocket
to be a
dimension?
parallel thing.
yeah, so that's where part of me was like, oh, are they going to bring in Henry Cavill? Like, are they going to do some fun nod to the parallel universe thing? But like at the end of the day, like Lex was the villain, and so them choosing to have a clone made of Superman to fight him, but it was also like alluded like he's dumb, so I have to control him.
Yeah, just a tool.
Like I feel like that actually ended up working better for the movie because it was already a convoluted story as it was with so many characters, but to have to like kind of explain another strongman would have been almost too much. So I feel like it worked well that they just went with like, you know what, he's a clone.
Right when you say he's the clone, like you don't need to like explain anything. Like you know he's the clone. It's just the route that they went. Like I'm just saying my point of view. Like I'm just saying like it was like there's things that I liked about the movie, but then there's also things that I didn't like about the movie. Like,
I'm it left me yearning for the day that we get to see this Superman fight another strong character that's not just a clone. But I think for this particular story, it worked. And like, so going back to what you were saying earlier about how this is a weaker Superman, we got to see like bones breaking and shit like that. And like James Gunn, and I do want to talk about this a little bit later, but like James Gunn, I think like for this movie, like wrote a good story. The style isn't quite there, but I will hand it to him. Despite all his weird, wacky, wide lens,
Swooping camera motion
stuff,
Yeah.
we gotta
FPV
actually,
drones, by the way.
we gotta actually see the combat. And so that combat between Superman and Ultraman, like it was fast and moving, but we got to see it, and we got to see those bones breaking. We got to see the punches. We got to see the fights. I think I thought that was really cool for what it was, and you know, like I said, I would like to see eventually we get to see him fight a villain with more backstory. But
you guys know that when the toys were released, like he said, you know, they had the U on the figure, but there was a toy released where Lex Luthor actually had like his suit on.
Like the pinstripe?
I thought we'd get the suit.
Yeah, like the purple and green, and that rather than him
We got the Raptors.
We got the Raptors
with the clone, or he could have had the clone. Like it doesn't matter to me, but like hopefully we'll get it later on. Like I'm just hoping we get that later on. But how cool would it have been to see Lex in the suit, like with the counters, and you actually see, and he like. We know he's Lex, but Superman doesn't know he's Lex. And rather than him making some, you know, random android, like he had 3 years to
I'm sure we'll get that. I'm sure
that
we'll
would have
get
been
that.
like
I'm sure we'll get that.
smart to me. But yeah, I feel like it's a good start. But for me, the movie like left me hungry still. Like I just like it wasn't enough. Like it just needed a little bit more in there.
No, I mean, I'm happy to admit that it wasn't a perfect movie. I think that it was a great start as far as like a James Gunn's take on a Superman movie. Real quick on the Lex Luthor thing with Luthor Corp, not Lex Corp, about like how he had a whole team. I feel like that makes more sense that he has a team to, you know, direct around and everything like that. On a technical aspect, I was surprised at how much was shot in camera. Yes, there's the obvious CG stuff, but like how much like of the volume was used and like FPV drones out of nowhere. I thought that it was motion control cameras that were being used. No, it was a little bit of that motion control camera on a gimbal, and also an FPV drone being flown around to give it a more organic feel of a swooping feel. A lot of swooping stuff, a lot of wide angle swoopy stuff. You're right about the style. Like he's maybe hopefully just kind of still figuring it out. It's some hits and misses, more hits for me than misses. But when those things were happening, I was like, So I get it. It's like with that's a terrible analogy, but yeah, it just there's some moments where I go, okay, I want to back it up a little bit. I want to see the thing.
It worked. Like I think I sent you guys the clip of the famous barrel roll scene of Superman flying. That was all volume and actually shot. Like it's kind of cool that that's a thing.
Super cool.
There were some shots though that reminded me of fucking Black Adam.
Yeah,
when he was flying. I was like, yuck, yuck.
Yeah. How did you feel about
Interesting take
the
of the line
Superman
again.
like the going up with both of them hanging off of and then coming back down? Because some of those, the shots was a little weird.
Well, just the
He
motivation.
has like a lot of
the
weird shots in
motivation
there.
of-
He has like a lot of weird shots. Like when you watch the Guardian movies and you watch this, you're like, he has like a lot of those like James Gunn like angles. Like
total. I mean, James Gunn's fingerprints all over this.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
James Gunn style. He does that like 0.5 lens close up fly thing.
He did it with Adam.
Yeah,
did do
Adam
that.
Warlock, and and I don't know who directed the Black Adam movie, but they did it in that too. Like, honestly, at this point, it's like don't
it looks.
listen, don't, just don't do it. It's not as fun as you
I
think.
was going to say, can we get that again?
Oh yeah, hold on. Just Hollywood, don't don't do it, don't do it.
Your finger smells like cheese.
Yeah, rubbing my taint on the way here.
Dougie's don't do it corner.
Yeah, just don't do it. Just don't do it.
It's okay to don't.
It's. I mean, like I understand. Like that's a thing that we in the real world record ourselves at, like that 0.6, 0.5, depending on what phone you have. But don't record superheroes at that. Please just don't. And like a Hawk Girl, I think got the worst of that in this Superman movie, where like towards the end, when she was flying through that palace, they did like a close up, and as soon as it happened, it took me out of the movie because I'm so just generally aware of how the internet works. They zoomed on her screaming, and I was just like, "This is gonna be a meme. This is gonna be a comment." And right away, it was just like comparing that quick freeze frame to like a Zack Snyder like Wonder Woman freeze frame, and people are making that comment of just like, this is how Zack Snyder handles women versus James Gunn. It's like, fuck off. Fuck off. I don't need to say anything more.
So-
if you're watching this show, you know how I feel. Fuck off.
The fight with the clone, aka not the real Ultraman, but so Lex is yelling out all these commands, right? And then you have later on, you realize that he has like a speaker thing on his chest. And Rudy always mentioned all these cameras flying around. Do you think that Superman should have got there like faster with his, there's somebody possibly controlling him, or yelling out commands?
That was one of those things I kind of just forgave. Like mid
One of those
movie,
things you have to.
He's not
you
the
have to be like,
super
okay,
detective.
let's put it over here.
Yeah, I
Get that
mean,
super hearing up, son. Not look up. Get that hearing aid up.
things might.
Listen up.
You just hear Guy Gardner ripping
Right,
ass.
right. Listen up. Yeah.
He's just Guy Gardner's on the toilet. He's just
Right.
he's like, oh.
Things might have been happening too quickly, but yeah, that's movie magic. Movie magic.
Plot device.
The one fucking person other than the dog. How did you guys like the dog, by the way, Crypto? I liked him more than I expected I was going to like him.
Loved it.
Yeah. That was
Great.
good. And the fucking
He's
story
cool.
behind
Like
it.
adopting dogs, the percentage went up like
Dude,
513%.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Crypto.
Didn't Crypto get one of those stupid close-up scenes where they were talking about him having super squirrels like flash in his mind, and it had like weird close-up where he's like chasing them.
I love that he ended up chasing like Mr. Terrific's T-spheres. Like,
Get the toy.
That's who we're not mentioning. We
Oh,
need
Mr.
to talk
Terrific.
about Mr. Terrific.
Stole the
Terrific,
show.
please. We're
Stole the
like,
show.
boy, oh boy, what a standout character.
well, the Justice Gang in general, right? Nathan Fillion did an amazing job at Guy Gardner, where he was an asshole that we all hated, but he did such a good job of like the underlying, like, he's a hero. This is why the Ring chose him. So those of you that don't know, the Green Lantern rings choose their holders, right? Their wearers. And so Guy Gardner being this absolute asshole, like there's a reason why the Ring chose him.
And I take it you liked that version, that take on Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, that
'cause
was Guy Gardner.
You're a huge Guy Gardner fan.
Yep.
Awesome. Mr. Terrific.
Stole the show.
Eddie Gathegi?
Gathegi.
Either pronunciation.
Tomato, whatever.
Yeah. That scene where he was like, I'm Mr. Terrific or whatever.
Let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
X-Men First Class.
Oh, that's where he started, right? Yeah.
He was
I don't
Darwin.
remember
He was
that.
a character known as Darwin.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Whose power was, anybody remember? To adapt to any dangers.
Yes, and they did him dirty.
Which in the comics is like super OP. But in the movie, not quite so much.
Now you get Mr. Footloose over there.
You got a hot testicle in the mouth, and that was it. And that was it for him.
Maybe I need to rewatch this.
It's a flaming hot Cheeto, and that was it.
Same. The flaming hot Cheeto. So for him to redeem himself,
Remember that? Yeah.
for him to redeem himself in another superhero movie and just fucking steal the spotlight in ways that where it's like he's able to be this serious character that's like, I'm so smart and I gotta explain spheres to this fucking chick. This is ridiculous.
It's not circles.
But still have moments. Just still have moments to stand out and be like a little bit sassy and stuff. It's
So live
fun.
action wise, he appeared in the Arrowverse. I didn't watch enough of it to comment on
Me
that.
neither. When we did the research for our little shorts, and like I saw him on camera, I'm like, when the hell was he in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of those who was still watching The Flash and Arrow for like the longest time, and then when all those guys were introduced, I was sadly still there, but
Yeah,
I
at
hung
a,
on to the very end.
at a certain point, like you had to jump off of that shit. I'm like, all
I'm
right,
the fastest man in there.
they've done
No,
that.
I'm not. Where are all these people coming from?
That's me on that show, and then the second half is Supernatural.
So I read a lot of comic books, especially back in the day, back 20 years ago or whatever. And Mr. Terrific was one of those characters that always popped up. He was on covers of comics. Like I would read
Justice League Unlimited, right?
Justice League or Justice Society. He was always kind of associated with that group as well. And he was always kind of cool. Like I never really got like a big connection with him, but I recognize like he is a big character within the DC universe. And like comic book wise, like he was like, it wasn't quite ever really like that show versus tell thing, right? Like I felt like they were always telling me that Mr. Terrific was this big important thing, but I never saw it. Like and for a while, like I was buying almost every DC comic weekly, right? It was almost like a $60 a week habit back in the day. Like I was just buying everything DC, and Mr. Terrific was always this character that was there, but like I just never quite got it. But this movie alone was just like, oh, I get it. I do see why he is a major character in the DC universe.
He is for most people considered your rankings, may differ, but he's in the comic book world. He's probably in the top 5 of like smartest people ever.
Yeah, smartest, and we got to see that awesome like combat scene where they did the like oneer through the eyes of Lois Lane, essentially not quite through the eyes. It wasn't FPV, but like it was
like
basically
that
through her.
person?
Third person, but like within the her little sphere of protection, and we got to see him whoop ass. Like it has me so excited to see him versus Batman.
And his little flare style of like, I need to get there, and just holds on to a T-sphere and just floats over to that spot.
Yeah. But like I said, I am
What
so
was that
excited.
song that played?
It's called 5 Years Time.
Hum me some bars.
I'm so excited to see him and Batman.
The debut single from the English folk rock band Noah and the Whale.
Him and whatever version of Batman they choose, like I think will be so fun. Because James Gunn has said that he doesn't want to do a jokey Batman. He wants to do a serious Batman. What? So, Batman is one of those characters that exist in all those versions, right? He can be a jokey Batman. We've seen it with Adam West. We've seen it with Batman and Brave and the Bold. But we've also seen very serious versions. We've seen a lot of very serious versions. So I was a little excited to maybe James Gunn's going to give us a more not serious. But then when he said he wasn't interested in that, I also got just as much as excited.
The Batman with like the stark white eyes does something with the character. You know, it's like when you wear sunglasses, you can't see somebody emoting or anything like that. Some people are like, no, but you know, they emote with their eyes. I'm like, yeah, but it's fucking Batman. He's not emoting. You know, it's the stoicness and where those beats lie. And the fact that with like Mr. Terrific, we got a little hint of like some, you know, classic looking, comic accurate, just wide eyed feel to it that really worked. You know, it's more practical than anything else, but like it worked and it looked fucking cool. Unlike Wolverine, which is still kind of unnerving when I really think about it.
Yep.
But I'm just, it's one of those fucking things. One of those things. I'm like, can we please get a Batman with the wide eyes? If it doesn't work, then you retcon it, and then the sequel or whatever else he's in, you just go like, yeah, whatever, write it out. I don't know, something. I'm really curious to see what the fuck that looks like. I've seen people cosplay as like a Robin, a Nightwing, or something like that, or a Batman with the white eyes. I'm like, oh, why can't we get that? It's a small thing, but it makes my little heart happy.
It's probably because, not saying that it's not going to happen, but like a lot of people, when you look at characters, even with live action, like the eyes are always the window to the soul.
Sure.
So
but Batman is soulless.
when you say certain things, you know, when you're standing on business, like how Batman normally does, you're going to have to get somebody that can convey that with other bodily language than eyes, if you're going to go that
I
route.
agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Hard nips, hard.
You know what I would like to see?
Hey, Rudy, what's up?
Fuckers. they do the cowl and everything, and he has the fucking lenses, but they go transparent when he's like doing regular shit, and then when he goes in fucking his detective mode, like.
Because it could be like a Spider-Man
That would be
lens
cool.
in
They
there.
got
Like,
that
it
in
could be
the
like a
game.
Spider-Man lens in there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it could.
Something like
They didn't do something like that with the Batman.
They did. No, but the Christian Bale, the Dark Knight, when he's doing like the echolocation vision with the phones and stuff like that, he has this whole screen, these eyes pop up. That's the closest thing we've gotten to that,
Okay.
right? But that would be cool. No, in the Batman, like Arkham Asylum, those games, you go detective mode and you kind of like pan the camera around, and he has like the wide eyes. That's just the way that Mr. Terrific did it. Like, yeah, maybe okay. I'll concede. Maybe I don't need a 100% of the time during the movie the Stark wide eyes, but have some moments where we just kind of get to go.
For those of you that
and
are
you're talking
listening,
shit about me.
for those of you that are just listening,
Although one,
Isaac literally unzipped his pants and pulled it out and whacked it.
And they haven't even started drinking yet.
It's, again, stroking me out. You can't play my own audio files when I'm trying to talk. Stroking me out. So let's talk about the supporting cast here within the Justice Gang as like the main ones. We were just talking about Mr. Terrific. We got Guy Gardner as a Green Lantern, and I am excited at the fact that we already know it's coming, that there's going to be a Lantern series with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Nathan Fillion has already confirmed that he's going to be it also as Guy Gardner. I think he mentioned he says the F word more times than he's ever said.
Do we know when that's coming out, by the way?
Soon. I want to say...
Are they still like shooting it right now?
Yeah, they're still shooting it. So I want to say
I think they wrapped it already.
Something was wrapped.
the next installment for the DCU
Wow,
is
it's wrapped.
Peacemaker
Going
Series
wrong.
2.
Uh-huh.
And then from there, it's Supergirl or Lanterns. I think, because they're filming Supergirl now,
Why,
too. So.
doesn't Supergirl have like a hard release date already?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
Okay.
And Lobo.
And Lanterns, I don't... Yeah, Lobo's going to be... Yeah. So that's all another talk. So the other aspect of the Justice Gang that we saw was Hawk Girl, played by Isabella Merced. And as you mentioned in our Instagram post, like the whole Hawk Girl, Hawk Man, Hawk Woman story has just been retconned a million times. And we still don't know too much about this. I think at one point James Gunn mentioned like her wings are organic, but then we also saw her without wings multiple times in this show. So like they're not organic unless she like grows them, like whatever. But
Maybe she just has like a hole in her back that you just suck into.
yeah, which can I fuck it?
Whatever that fear is. There's like a frog that I love the two reactions here. What?
Gross.
As you said, what's that fear? I was like, can I fuck it?
There's like a frog that like they embed the eggs in the.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But it's also a good example, like in this world, like we were talking about earlier about like, you know, we never questioned secondary characters when it's like a cop show or whatever. Now it's a superhero show and this girl has wings. Us, or at least me, as like a nerd, it's like, yeah, she's got wings. Fine, whatever. Fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't have
Yeah.
wings in this scene. Cool, whatever. It's a backpack. It's a thing. Like it's magic. I don't care.
Yeah,
like
not everything needs to be
explained.
explained.
And if they ever want to do a Hawk Girl movie and explain it, cool. If they don't, fucking whatever, right? Like, and if they feel the need to explain it, like we live in a world of the internet. Like, just put it out there. Like, James Gunn can just release, say, like, yeah, this is Hawk Girl's bio, link in bio. For Isabella Merced, yes. Whatever.
Metamorpho.
Yeah, so that's the final one.
I think I mentioned this to Jermaine. Before you start, I had absolutely no idea what to expect from a live action Metamorpho because like so seldom do they bring his character out in anything. Like I think Justice League, the animated series, he was in that a bunch, or here and there or whatever. But when we actually got to him, like it was completely wasn't expecting. Like I wasn't expecting him to like burst into tears when Luther capped that guy. Like I was like, oh, it's like. I didn't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that, and it was cool. Like I liked it. Like it was different. Like he's not your typical hero. He's just a guy with powers and like thrust into the situation, and like I don't want to say like it was weird, but it was a little unexpected.
It was weird in the fact that like James Gunn and whoever else was involved in this recognize like the potential of these stories because that is the world that I as a comic book nerd love, that like these people with powers, these metahumans or whatever you want to call them, they are going to be, you know, normally the story with these characters is a heroic moment, but the potential for them to be used or like the story to be something tragic or something sad is there. And I thought that use of him was borderline perfect, right? Because they obviously didn't need another hero in that story. I mean, they could have squeezed him in, but the idea of like, oh, all the kryptonite's gone. It's like, is it?
Well, the overlying message of humanity and him being the most like monstrous looking person, having, I mean, aside from Superman, like the most humanity, like all he wants to do is save his little baby Joey. On a technical aspect, I love Anthony Carrigan as an actor. He played Metamorpho, and I think it's super awesome that like this is other than the show Barry that he was in, which he was amazing in. And he came out in an A24 movie, Death of Unicorn. He has amazing comedic ability that we get a little sprinkle of in this character. As far as the character of Metamorpho, unless we get more of him later, you could have cast anybody, you know? So as far as Anthony Carrigan, I love the guy, and I think it's super awesome, and he gets to do more stuff because of this. But as far as that character is concerned, and you know what that actor brings, which was nothing but that he usually brings to a character, you know. So I do hope we get more of him, so he gets to flex that Anthony Carrigan comedic ability that is just
there's a lot of potential. I mean, with DC universe, with like DC Dark and stuff like that, with Swamp Thing and Metamorpho as a character has appeared in like Batman and the Outsiders and some of the dark stuff. Like, there's a lot of potential, and I agree with you. I hope they continue. Well, James Gunn initially said like he plans on using these actors throughout.
Good, cool,
and like even like anyone that appears in the animated universe as voices, like he wants to use them as the actual acting character, and video games and stuff like that. Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo is the first one to appear that we've seen that appeared in Creature Commandos.
Hurry up
and
with
now-
that gray hair already, my guy.
Yes, and I think he talked about something about that, about like that difference. But
We're overlooking.
I guess
some-
technically John Cena also is a character that has
Good cameo.
appeared in different, 2 different DCU.
we overlooked some 2 crucial people of the storyline, which is Jimmy Olsen and Eve. Mutant Toes.
Miss Tessmacher.
Miss Tessmacher.
Tessmacher.
No, I didn't know Jimmy had that much fucking riz.
That threw me off.
I'm not familiar with his game, so I can't really comment on him. I don't
Nah, that
remember
shit was
him.
plot device.
I don't remember him being that much of the Rizzler.
Sorry, no.
In any of his
take it back.
previous portrayals.
I made the same mistake too when I was talking about it last time. Was it wasn't Riz? He wasn't putting out there as what the kids call aura.
Yeah,
It's
it was
just-
straight
just
aura.
emitting
Yeah.
this.
I didn't want to stick his dick. I don't like. I was thrown off when like they showed like the girls like oohing and awing over him. I was like, I don't get it.
I know a lot of
that-
yes, exactly. There was a
I'm
lot
a
of comments on the
46-year-old man,
interweb
though,
that was
so-
like, that shit was unbelievable to me. Like, they just had to.
That's redheadist.
Whatever.
That's
I was saying,
frecklist.
because you're traditionally not attracted to males, you couldn't see that.
Stop it.
Wow.
Stop it.
Skylar Gassan think he did a good
Stop
job.
But by the way, he does. He's on that series,
Santa Clarita Diet.
The Righteous Gemstone.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He's a great
in
actor.
there.
He's
Oh yeah,
fucking hilarious.
he is that.
Rizzler.
No, like that quintessential like character,
Throw something at me.
like when you look at a Jimmy,
Yeah.
like
Oh my
he's
God,
that, like he's that typical mold.
Oh no! By the end of the movie, like I totally was in. Like I got it. Eve's character.
Yeah.
Oh no! Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I'm glad they didn't make him like traditional Jimmy, who's just a bumbling, sidekick.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
gave him
Honestly,
a little faucet of personality there.
The
Everybody had
whole Daily Planet little cast there, like it was so fun to see. That was probably one of the things that like I never thought I'd be like excited to see the live action version of, but like actually seeing Kat and the sports guy and Jimmy and Lois like and Perry like all doing their thing, like that was fun to see.
Did you feel that they were like maybe a little underutilized?
Yeah, what else do they
Like
have to do?
I think we got them in that the scene where Clark's walking in, and then we got them at the end where they're publishing the story.
Oh, what about that slow motion scene where they're all celebrating?
there was no there was no like
Love you, James.
there was no time necessarily to give them more,
Yeah.
but
It's not
like
an underuse or overuse. Like
if
it just is.
James Gunn wants to put like some
Hold
HBO
on.
series on of
The Daily Planet. Oh, I'd watch the shit out of that.
yeah, like a 4 or 5 episode, please.
Like a fucking newsroom, like Daily Planet, like
Yes,
for that other
and,
HBO series.
and how perfect would that be to introduce us, the audience, to more of the DCU? Like, and it's
That's
a good
fun.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
Hashtag
fun.
James Gunn. Hashtag DC Universe. Hashtag Warner Brothers.
I'm putting it out in the universe right now.
Yeah, we're putting it out there right now. Like, please.
You need the Daily Plan to act like Shield, pretty much. Like
What-
when you get new
hold on, what time
information.
is it?
Yeah.
When July 23rd at 8:59 p.m. James Gunn, if you're feeling a tingling sensation in your
Yeah.
ass, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
It's a new Corona bottle.
Yeah. I'll wash
Image here.
wash your taint for like 3 months if you do this. And yeah, Kat, like everything was so fun. But then Eve was the other character you brought up. That ended up being such a because even from the trailers and then to the early introduction of her into the movie was just like this fucking dumb bimbo, media influencer or whatever. But she knew, and like that character of just like being someone like in an abusive relationship, and we certainly saw like how far Lex took that abusiveness,
The pettiness. The fucking level of pettiness this
the
guy.
pettiness and the abusiveness, and then her like taking those selfies, but then we ultimately learn that she was doing that smartly and
Yeah, get some
intelligently
dirt.
and like getting the background little shots. And I love the fact that it was Lois that figured it out. Really cool character. At the end of the day, I thought Eve was a really fucking amazing character.
Yeah.
Worthy to mention, speaking of all the characters, if anybody is subscribed to Spotify, that if you look up Superman playlist, Superman official playlist, it will
you mentioned that.
figure
I
you
wanted to
out,
look
and
back.
then it'll give you a character and give you their playlist. But you can still go through like it'll give you Metamorphos playlist and Mr.
Oh, that's
Terrifics, and so like Lex Luthor has a lot of like Fame is one of the songs and stuff like that. So it's just a lot of fun. And then at the beginning of each segment, you get James Gunn kind of talking about why he chose what he chose, and it's just more of being able to hear Gunn and his passion, even just taking the time out of his day to curate. By the way, he curated that entire playlist, which is a lot of fun. Obviously, Eve's is a lot of Taylor Swift. So if you guys don't know that, there you go. That was a lot of fun. In fact, I've been driving around just kind of like scrambling to some of those. Naturally, I got Jimmy.
I'm the engineer. Your music takes matches the character on the playlist cover, and it's the
you are
engineer.
our engineer.
That's so fun. What do you go to for that?
On Spotify, if you type in Superman official playlist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You do
Someone
that,
fill
and
this.
then
We don't have to fill in back so we're not live. Superman. What?
I just
Official
put
playlist.
Superman playlist,
Yeah.
but it pops up as Superman official playlist,
Okay.
and then you just click into that, and the cover photo is
Green Lantern. Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
off.
If you don't get Mr. Terrific, your algorithm doesn't know you.
Fuck off. Hold on. Let me,
Like obviously, I got
I
Jimmy.
need. Where is?
Oh, I got okay. So Superman, Clark Kent. Oh, so the middle by Jimmy Eat World. Okay, that has a lot.
As you guys
of,
are looking over that, another cameo that was actually pretty fun is Christopher Reeve's son had a little cameo. William Reeve as a TV reporter. Alan Tudyk voiced one of the robots. Was it number 14 or something like that? Which
was that Tudyk?
Yeah, standard Alan
Yeah,
Tudyk. I
go
think
for it.
There's some female that I'm familiar with. She voiced the number 4 or something like that. Damn it, I don't have it here.
Something Chan? Was it?
Oh, wasn't it Pump? Clementine or whatever?
And
Mantis? Was it not Mantis? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Superman robot number 5.
I believe.
Palm Clementif.
Clementine, yes.
I saw there was another one. Oh,
And you guys look at what was yours? Did you get yours? The mid and post credit scene were great. The little extra beat, more interaction with Superman and Mr. Terrific, and that like damn near still frame photo. You got Eve.
wow.
He's secretly a Taylor Swift lover.
What the hell?
Of Superman sitting
I
with
don't know
Crypto
any of this
looking over the
music
world.
on Engineer's playlist. Let's
Yeah.
find
So
Now you will.
So, yeah, that shot of Superman with Crypto, I think, is a good like mid credit. We've talked about this before with the idea of the post credit. I get this is the first DCU movie, so maybe now's not the time. But like, those post credit scenes are such a great opportunity to set up something big. So with the DC universe, like obviously Doomsday, obviously Darkseid, obviously Brainiac. Jesus, Brainside. I mean, I'm not saying they necessarily need to do that, but like asking the audience to stay through all those credits, which I mean, honestly, pay attention to how many names go into movie making. It's an important aspect. But like to end it on just like a joke or a moment, like give
He
us
doesn't
something.
want to go down that route again. Like it's you're gonna set stuff up.
Yeah,
One, he's already had
yeah.
like we've already seen how Marvel
Yeah,
has
Marvel's fumbled that ball so many
set
times.
Many times.
I mean, this is literally stuff you said out the other side of your mouth where you're like, they never gave us this, that, and the
we
other. I'm
don't
like,
need
yeah,
that
those
stuff.
are those
We don't need
things.
that stuff. You just need the movie. This goes back to all those classic things you used to get at the end of movies where you got like bloopers or some little fun scene. I know Zack Snyder tried to do it with the Flash and the Superman race. It was just a thing. Like,
Right. There you go.
It's
a fun little extra beat.
yeah, just a little extra beat. Like I don't need that same recipe over and over again.
Hold on, hold on,
Okay.
hold
Damn
on,
that.
hold on.
Mr.
I agree with you to a point because when we got that last scene,
Political.
I was like, okay, that wasn't like, why did I sit here for
It's
all that?
too fucking early for that
All right,
shit.
okay, but on the other hand, when I walked out, I'm like, I was like,
Sit your
okay,
ass down.
okay,
It's too
fine.
early. All that.
Fine.
No, all of y'all,
They
sit
didn't-
your ass down.
They didn't give us something to fumble later that they're not going to fucking, that's not going to pan out.
A lot of people
True.
didn't even know if this movie was gonna do. Like, you have to wait.
I agree, and I get it. I fucking get it. But
Fucking get it.
if
I hate you both.
This fucking
if they
guy.
have a
I get it.
plan,
I'm totally on board.
if they have a plan in mind, I think the post-credit scenes is a great opportunity to show that. If they don't have something in mind,
No, because it should have. Sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off here because just like with Brave New World. No, I will. You know what, John? I'm excited. I'm gonna cut you off.
I want to hear it. Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
Just like with Brave New World, it's like no, that should have been part of the story. If the movie didn't end with that. Like, the movie should have then ended with that. Like any other thing in the past, whether it be a movie or a TV show, they have a cliffhanger, you know? Now, it would have been, not a right place, but they just don't use the... I just don't think that the post-credits... should
No,
be
so
used
the
for
only
that.
reason why I say this with DC, and we've talked about this, is I think specifically about the Doomsday story, where... Sorry, I just finger banged my mic a little bit. The Doomsday story, began with, just Doomsday beating the shit out of so many characters, right? And then eventually, you went through months of just oh, this guy can't be stopped. And then finally it was oh, he meets Superman. Maybe Superman can finally beat him, but we've already seen him tear through everybody. And I think about some of the major villains that exist in any of the comic book stories, but DC specifically, Darkseid, Brainiac, Doomsday are the big ones. And that opportunity to use that post-credit scene, so this movie, right? It showed up, it presented us these side characters like Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific, and Metamorpho, to show one of those characters getting his ass beat by some unknown entity or a known entity or whatever, is a cool epilogue moment that we can build upon. It wouldn't have necessarily worked with this one being the first one, but I think there's an opportunity there that maybe they can use, maybe they can't. I'm not saying they should, but if it's there, especially now that they've introduced Green Lantern, so any sort of extraterrestrial threat,
Don't put that finger at me.
You were chomping at the bit earlier. I didn't want
No,
to...
I'm good.
So, to my point,
Got yelled at. Fuck you guys.
I'm glad that you learned.
no, Rudy, I
We
fucking
listen
love you.
and we don't judge. To my point, the introduction of Supergirl could have been that traditional post-credit scene that everyone is so...
I'm so glad they didn't do. I'm so glad they.
That's exactly my
included it.
point.
Yeah.
Is that if you're going to then, mention the next thing, which is Supergirl, do you have a part of the story as opposed to this matzo ball hanging at the end that maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't? I think that he did it correctly with having Supergirl at the very end of the movie.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm not
especially-
saying it
once.
needs to be the next thing, but I'm saying you could start setting up a larger threat.
I've
Though
Not yet, not yet.
I
I
think
have spoken.
as to that, I
don't
think
wanna go
James
around in
Gunn has
circles.
said that the Peacemaker season 2 is going to be the first introduction to the larger threat.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, as well as also explaining how this Peacemaker
When's that come
fits
out?
into this
January?
August.
Oh, I would
No, it's
fucking
this
hate if
year.
it was
It's
January.
It's this
Shitting
year.
me?
I saw something on screen earlier that
so-
said January, so maybe
I
I'm
would
pretty sure
rather
it's
just seeing that.
have him like I said, I feel like it's too early to start, putting crumbs out there.
Yeah, that nonsense.
But I also feel like if he is going to do the
Oh yeah, August 21st.
post credit thing, it doesn't need to be in every movie because it's one of those things put it where it needs to be, not scatter that stuff everywhere. Because when you look at how we've mentioned Marvel, they have their post credit scene, their mid credit scenes or whatever, and I'm not gonna get into it, but they really don't go anywhere. And then when you had Thanos was introduced in the Avengers.
Yeah.
And then Guardians.
Since we're talking about MCU, right? The thing that wrapped, I remember now, I didn't save it. Vision Quest.
Yeah, Vision Quest was another one that wrapped. But it's just one of those things like where you had from Avengers to what was it, Guardians 1 or 2, where you had Thanos going and said he was going to grab the glove and he was going to do it himself.
10 years later.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like I don't
Gunn
need
talked
him to
about
do
that.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Like just give it where it needs to be. And if you want to have some fun clips at the end, by all means have those fun clips.
Yeah,
Like, I don't need any of that
overall,
Marvel
I'm-
stuff anymore. Like I don't need that.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm happy with the way Superman did it.
Okay.
In the moment, I was disappointed, absolutely, because I was like so used to getting the burger,
Yep.
so used to getting that.
No, we gotta
It's
get
the
out of
tease for
that.
the
We
next
gotta get
stuff.
out of that.
Yes.
And
We need to get out of
you
that.
know, after I got away from it, I'm like, okay, so they didn't paint themselves into a corner because who knows where the fucking story is going to go? Maybe he doesn't have a 10-year roadmap yet, and they're still writing stuff. So why paint yourself into a corner?
You're expecting the burger, and James Gunn's like, here's a hearty salad.
So
Fuck that.
A chicken
Bad
salad.
analogy.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
salads must die.
with all this
Succulent
discussion
Chinese
about
meal?
the movie,
Sorry.
what do
Oh,
you?
approaching 2
What
hours.
does each person give it out of a 10? I don't know what you guys want to rate it.
Well, they're
at.
classic like RT score 0 out of 100. I think I had, what did I give it? I give it a 95 because it's not a perfect movie cinematically. There's still some things that are a little atypical, and there's room for growth. Like we just talked about. Like I love that it's not a perfect movie, but it's a good James Gunn Superman movie. Rating?
I would probably give it a little bit lower. As you just said, like style wise, I am not a fan of James Gunn's style. Directing wise, the story was fun. Like there's a part of me that like I hate to. I don't know. It's like if I can get Zack Snyder's style with this story, like it would probably have been a good movie. At the end of the day, like the fisheye lens close ups of characters flying around. Like, yeah, I'm not.
Can we do that as a promo?
So
I'm not a fan of.
please. Where's the cape?
no, hold on. Talk to me after this episode.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it because we need to wrap this up.
We're gonna shoot
Yeah.
something.
Forever.
Yeah, no red table.
So
Were you done with your-
So
No,
basically,
no.
so basically, it's more technical aspects for you as opposed to like story.
Story was amazing. The style,
Figured, yeah.
the style wasn't there. And to the question that I wanted to ask you guys was like, the coolness wasn't there, right? Like this is good comic book stuff, and like if I wanted to introduce people to comic book stuff, like this is great fun comic book stuff. But like there's also this other level of nerdy sci-fi comic book shit that like I'm just like, this is so fucking cool. And I know the normal audience doesn't see any of this stuff as cool, or at least it didn't, right? We talked about this on this podcast. We've talked about growing up nerd and like the different idea of what's cool or not. But nothing about this movie left me with like, this is some cool shit to see. It left me with like, this is some fun stuff to see. This is
Fun was the word I kept.
yeah. This is fun. This is hopeful. This is what comic books can be. Like this, like, and maybe it's because comic book movies have been around for 10, 15 years at this point, but there's nothing like cool about this.
Got to correct you on that one. We did talk about Mr. Terrific.
He's still cool, but like style wise, it ultimately
Still.
it comes down to style. And I'm not saying like I want to see.
No, I got you.
I want to see anime in live action because I think that's impossible. I think people can try all they want, but we're never gonna get like anime stuff. But
I
like,
want Rudy to go.
Yeah, your closing thoughts.
I think like when I told Jermaine like they finally captured Superman in his comic book essence, and not generally, I really like this movie. Like I give it a high 90s, like 96, 97. Like that, it was the first Superman movie that I saw that I was like, holy shit, they got Superman.
The
Like,
Donner.
and even Christopher Reeves was almost
making up
almost-
powers on the fly.
almost corny to to the point of camp at some points. but But I think this one was really good, and the cast they surrounded him with was perfect. And James Gunn style notwithstanding, I liked the way it was shot. There was a couple of shots that were kind of weird, but that's just the way he does things. Not hopefully, because I'm not trying to talk shit about him, but they'll bring in different directors to do different movies, so it won't be just his stamp on every single thing going forward. But generally, like, I love this entry, and I can't wait for the rest.
Real quick on the director thing, he's started to bring in his own league of directors, possibly Ryan Coogler. God damn it, I forget it again. The director for Godzilla -1, writer Mike Flanagan. So he recognizes the people that have that talent.
To add to what Doug and what Rudy's saying, so yes, I feel like they captured Superman to a degree.
In the Pocket Universe.
To what Doug is saying about like that coolness. Like I said, I still feel like I left that movie theater like I wasn't full. So I love like the Daily Planet, like I love like the cast, like I love everything about the movie, but there was just that like the coolness or epicness was missing for me. Like there was nothing there. Like even like I said, like the end battle, like I just felt nothing. And it was just one of those movies like, and I love Superman. And when I left this movie, I was like, I honestly don't know if I want to watch it again. Like it's
interesting.
Like it's one of those like it's a fun, safe movie. That's what I've been saying. But it's just one of those like it didn't do anything for me besides like I like what he has set up in the universe going forward. Like I said, I just hope that we just get some better stuff. Like I said, like I hope this Superman is going to be, you know, that Superman that's eventually, you know, like I know like a lot of people, and I'm not saying that Zack Snyder's Superman was the best, you know, Superman, but he always stated that it was supposed to be a, you know, 5-arc movie, but gradually where you're going to see, you know, Superman kind of quote unquote, like he said, you know, become that Superman. You know, he's not. For me, Man of Steel, like he wasn't Superman yet, and I've, you know, stated that multiple times. Like he's still figuring things out, just like this Superman. And I want him to gradually get to that point, like where I'm like, that's my boy right there. You know what I'm saying? Like I just not just more jaded, but it's just because he's only been around for 3 years. But like I said, he's still finding himself. Like he's still looking around the world. Like he doesn't understand why, and you see it in the movie, like why people are doing these things, like why Mr. Terrific killed, you know, like he's saving Squirrel, and he's like, I don't understand why you guys are doing that.
Well,
but he's going to get to that
You
point.
want him to snap some necks.
Well, no, I think that importance that was something I wanted to touch on this with both Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific killing the kaiju, Hawkgirl killing that dictator was like part of Superman. Anyone that reads the comic books, part of Superman's main draw is like he is this leader that everyone looks up to, and within the realm of movies, and I think everyone needs to understand. I'm talking to you, like hardcore comic book fans, right now. You know, comic books come out once a month. Superman comics, I think, twice a month at this point. Like you get a lot of story and a lot of things covered. Movie wise, it's not going to be the same thing. So, like this opportunity of Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific kind of being like nonchalant about killing, it opens up this opportunity for us, the audience, to see Superman become that influence, right?
Which he did at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see more of that. Like the fact that they really zeroed in on Hawkgirl saying like, "I'm not Superman," like that opens up that like maybe in a movie or 2 movies we'll see her realize that maybe she should be Superman. Maybe she should be like him. And like that's the thing with these kind of movies, and this like any sort of movie that's setting up a universe. It's like, yeah, exactly. You're setting up a continuing story. So you might not like the way characters are now, but the setup is growth.
Totally.
Yeah, like I feel like you gotta give it time.
Yeah.
Superman's that guiding light. Exactly. You got to give it time. Superman's gonna be that guiding light, and he's gonna learn, and other characters are gonna learn. Like that's the beauty of it all.
Continuing to speak to the audiences, by the way, because Gunn has said a number of times that he's focusing on the story first. So he's not just going like, oh, I have rights to this thing. Let's greenlight it.
To the point where he's even said like they're not even going to start filming until a script is done. Huge.
So to the people listening, spread the word. We're not getting 1 or 2, 3 movies a year that are going to be low quality. We're going to get something that he's going to greenlight himself. He's going to okay himself on the page before it's even put into action.
Yeah.
Which means we might get stuff spaced out more than we're used to with this fast food that was MCU.
So I'm
patience.
For me, my rating is like it's like a 70 to 75. Like for me, like it's not the like it's not the greatest thing, but it's not the worst thing. Like I said, like I'm one of those like who, like I said, like he established it, and I'm gonna ride with this. But like I said, like with all these other movies that he's coming up with, and the Supergirl, the Lanterns, and like the Batman, like with the Brave and the Bold, like you know, and
the puppet Dick Grayson, Jason Todd movie, yeah,
and everything is supposed to, you know, like build up. But I am still very interested to see where he's gonna take us on this journey. Like I still trust him, but for me, like the movie was all right to me. Like I said, like, I don't even know. Maybe when it drops on HBO, maybe.
Which is crazy to me. I said this when we got out of the theater. I was like, I never thought I'd see the day where I would like a Superman movie more than Jermaine would, because that's his boy.
But it's like how we had the conversation with like the new Star Wars, like how you said like, oh man, like they fumbled it. Like I'm just like I'm hoping that. I love him as Superman. Love him as Clark. Like he has all the elements that you'd want.
Right.
But like I said, it was just certain elements of the movie like I've mentioned, you know, like just left me like I want a little bit more. Like I just want that like that coolness. Like I wanted the
more
ending battle to be
I know I should
like a little bit more like fulfilling in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But
I
good base. It's a good concrete base that he's going to build on.
Totally.
I want to add, as we're talking about the conclusion of the movie, I've said before, I feel like I've very much laid out that I am not a big fan of the final arc of a lot of these superhero movies being some CG colorful display. And when...
God damn it.
What?
Now I got to find the exploding colors.
Yeah. when this movie was kind of leading to that conclusion, and like Lex was like, yeah, don't close the rift, like let the thing.
Felt you in that moment when I saw it. I totally felt you in that.
I was like, fuck, we're gonna get just another colorful bullshit. But I will say, like, it worked for me because one, even before the conclusion stuff, when Superman was in that river of what were they calling it, like anti-particle, negative particles or something like that. It was still basically a roaring river. So even in that moment of just like colorful CG stuff, it was still something very grounded that I think maybe not necessarily everybody, but enough people in Earth and the real world could recognize. And it was, and combined with, not only was he trying to keep himself afloat, he was trying to keep a baby afloat, and people were shooting at him. And then outside of that, towards the conclusion, we were getting this like world-ending event, or at least a localized world-ending event that had a lot that had a lot of like colorful CGI stuff, but ultimately it was Earth splitting.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess us living in Southern California, we all know about Earth splitting with earthquakes. So, like,
picture Los Angelinos going, yeah, and
yeah, pretty much. Which was also like kind of the reaction with Metropolis people. Like,
yeah, they were a little nonchalant.
You know, I know maybe it seems like a minimal thing to some people, but like, I don't know, like a lot of these kind of superhero movies where it's like, oh, here's an event and it's spreading and it's just some weird energy field. Like I don't fucking know what that feels
Yeah,
like. Does that hurt? And that was one of the things even with Thunderbolts, right? When that shadow was and the people were disappearing, it's like, oh,
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to get mentioned in any other thing. Anyways, totally off topic. But
but the fact that they showed this crazy CGI thing, but it was earth splitting. It's like, okay, earth splitting, I understand. Earth splitting is bad. Buildings are being torn apart. They're falling down. Like I get it. I understand the like fear.
so
of
East
that.
Coast people won't get it. Unless there's a
East Coast people might be even more. East Coast people might
Or
be even more
flood.
afraid of it. Like, wait, the Earth can split?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, no, it happens.
Any last
every other
closing
weekend.
thoughts?
I'm kind of glad that they didn't go like full ham on a like ending, like final arc threat, like the universe was gonna
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was
implode.
personal.
Yeah,
Personal.
So like, I know it would have been a little bit more epic if they'd done something, grander. But like, we're starting out. Let's get the monster of the week, the Lex Luthor
that.
versus movie out of the way, and then we'll build towards something.
Yeah.
And the epicness and the coolness will come later.
Perfect.
Perfect. We're not doing a round table.
Yeah, fuck that.
But we all think that the movie was really good.
No, we're going to do one quick roundtable. We're excited. Comic-Con is happening this weekend, so we're
yeah.
excited. I don't know
Yeah,
when this is,
Comic-Con.
I don't know when this is dropping, but Comic-Con is happening like in 2 days, so I already have a boner.
And Fantastic Four is happening in a couple of days, so we're talking about that.
Yeah, we will.
We have to talk about that. In the meantime, if you aren't doing so already, watch us on youtube.com/The Hype Attack Podcast. Join us, follow us on social media at The Hype Attack on Instagram and TikTok. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications,
If that
follow
was
us
all
on
too
all the
much.
things. And some of those characters that we talked about, we have our character introductions in case you don't know. Gee golly, don't you know? And we have our website.
Thehypeattack.com. Yeah. Yep.
And on all those things, you can.
Continue the conversation either through those things or message us or text us. I just had a friend randomly comment on a thing on Facebook to let us know. So, yeah, I'm sure you have something to say about it. Let us know, and we'll mention it, or
We will mention it.
we'll print it out and shit on it. So we'll see.
Till next week.
Till next week.
Same hype time.
Same hype channel.
Hype attack.